kwatsukutia mbuke. Takashinzasva muri kuronga tikaisi vakomana bizaredu.
Well, Maswera Zimbabwe Chief.
Maswera, how are you, my co-host Sophie? Let me say good afternoon.
How are you, Chief?
Good morning. Yeah. Good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for joining. You are live. We are all live on ZimEye, YouTube, ZimEye, Facebook, and we are also live on Change Radio. It's your favorite program, Padare and Mambo Svosve. Once again, thank you so much for joining. My co-host in German, in Sweden, not German. Sophie, you can take a few minutes to greet our viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you so much. Welcome, viewers and listeners. We welcome you to Padare and Mambo Svosve. Today, we have a very special program. We have a full panel. Our topic for the day is Diaspora Vote is a Right. We will go through our panelists. We have a lot of knowledgeable. It's going to be an interesting conversation. And we welcome you. Maswera sei kumatiwenyika. Tinokutambirai tinokugashirai pa Change Radio nepa YouTube na Mambo Svosve Padare. I give it back to you, Chief, to introduce the other panelists.
Yes, it's a full cast. You can see here the screen is full. Let me give the honor to our ladies. Dr. Kwekwerere, I call you Dr. Amai. Dr. Amai, you can take a few minutes to greet our viewers and listeners here. And of course, Dr. Amai is our Deputy Chair Lady, North America Province, Deputy Women Assembly Chair Lady. Doc, please take a few minutes to greet our viewers and listeners.
Thank you, Mambo Svosve. Greetings to you all viewers, Padare, who are also with Chief here. I greet you and I wish you happy listening tonight and happy watching too. Thank you, Chief.
And moving on, Dr. Ranga is dropped. I was about to go to Dr. Ranga. Let me go to Ms. Tibago. Ms. Tibago is our chairperson for Canada, our district chairperson for Canada. Ms. Tibago, please go ahead and greet our viewers and listeners.
Oh, thank you, Mambo Svosve. I greet you all wherever you are. Pasrose, Nika, Makadi. Ngati Nengo Yakanaka discussing the issues that are happening in our country right now. And say hello to you all. Back to you, Chief.
You were telling me that you were invited to some function in Canada. Can you, it's a very interesting function. What is it? Maybe just in a minute.
Oh, actually, I've been invited by ZAPU, Canada.
Wow.
You know,
ZAPU. There was ZAPU in Canada.
I didn't know either, so it's the first time my first time interacting with them today. So I'll be going there in a few hours, and actually I had to delay because of this. So I'll be going to see what it is all about and maybe touch base when I get back.
And that's actually what President Chamisa has been talking about. BBI,
Yes.
Breaking Barriers Initiatives.
Yes.
You see, some people, Zimbabweans, with who subscribe to what we are doing, you go and
Yes.
meet them, you talk to them, and maybe even you can even sell them the MDC Alliance doctrine. And
most definitely. I'm taking Organ Bude with me, and that's the idea. And the message we're taking to them is we are going in solidarity because we have a common enemy. And we are also going to be selling the idea of fighting for the diaspora vote. So I'm hoping to get a few guys who might be coming down to New York with us for the forthcoming demo. Yeah.
Because if everyone wants to vote, whether you're Zanu,
everyone needs the diaspora vote.
Mavambo, you are Maim Juru, you are Dr. Noah Manyika Biza, you
Yes.
want to vote. So this is something that should be done by every Zimbabwean, and that's why we are here. Dr.
Yes.
Ranga, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, everybody, and good evening to the listeners and viewers. I'm looking forward to the discussion. Thank you.
Yes, and Dr. Ranga is MDC Alliance North America Province Secretary for Health. At Nakusiyama Youth, we have our youth here, well represented by Comrade Wellington Mareza. Please go ahead.
Makadiwa muri mese. Machimana enyika yeZimbabwe kwese kwatiri kunze kwenyika kwacho kuri kunzi kudiaspora. Ndingada kutaura kuti kudiaspora ringori zita, but tese tiri maZimbabweans and we need that vote. Thank you. I'm so excited to be in this conversation.
Yes, before I bring in Sophia, let me just start by going to Dr. Ranga. He's a doctor, he's a medical doctor, and he actually helped me do a lot of things. I didn't want to be vaccinated, but I ended up getting vaccinated anyway because you would call me every day. Chief, have you been vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? Yeah, so we will be gathering in New York on the 18th of September, and the doctor has given us the green light because will be obviously observing the CDC guidelines. Doc, if you can just give people here an overview of what is going on in America in as far as COVID-19, so that we just maybe allay some fears that some people might have, to come to the function, and what you're doing, anything that you can tell us about COVID-19, and also talk briefly about getting vaccinated. I've been on many platforms on VOA and other places, and the song there is MDC Alliance doesn't want people to get vaccinated. I don't know where they're getting that from, So you can also take that opportunity to just say something about that. We give you 5 minutes, Doc. That's a lot of time. I know you would need 15, but 5 minutes.
Sure, sure, Chief. I don't need 5 minutes, Chief. I just need 1 minute. The same way I've been talking to you every single day. I'm talking to anybody right now who might be watching or listening. Of course, as the MDC, we want Zimbabweans to be safe wherever they are, whether it's in Zimbabwe or in America, UK, Australia, South Africa, Germany, wherever you may be as a Zimbabwean. We want you to be safe. And we want you to register to vote because that's how you're going to change the country. So like Chief said, I am saying the same thing to everybody. You need to get vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated, do it yesterday. Before you come to New York, get vaccinated. Before you register, get vaccinated. The reason I say that is this is the surest way for each and every one of us to be safe. Vaccines have been shown that they reduce hospitalizations, they reduce admission to the intensive care unit. As a doctor, I take care of COVID-19 patients here in America every single day. That's what occupies my mind. That's why Chief hears about it every single day. So I'm glad that he is now vaccinated, and so he won't be hearing me say, Chief, get vaccinated. So if any of you guys watching and listening are not vaccinated, please do so. And Chief will not like me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Don't come to New York if you're not vaccinated.
Did you say that?
Get yourself vaccinated and let's have a good time in New York City. Okay, it's the surest way. We don't want you to come, you join hands with us, and the next thing you're in the ICU. That's not right. That's not good for you. That's not good for us. That's not good for the cause we are fighting for. To have a functional country, we need each and every one of you Zimbabweans, wherever you are. So my call to everybody is get vaccinated. Of course, follow all the guidelines, from the CDC, from local authorities. They won't let you fly if you don't have a face mask. And in most places indoors, they ask, the CDC recommends that we wear face mask, we follow the mitigation measures. So let's do that and let's have a good time in New York City, and let's encourage every Zimbabwean to get vaccinated, and let's encourage every Zimbabwean to register to vote. That's how we're going to have a better country. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Doc. Yeah, should I say thank you, but not thank you? But I mean, you have a point. You're very right. You're talking from a medical point of view, and we appreciate that. Please get vaccinated. Yeah, get vaccinated. I won't go that far. I'll just say get vaccinated and come to New York. So we can go ahead and talk about the topic of the day.
Chief, I didn't quite get your question. Somehow, I think my mic here is having some issues.
No, that's fine. You wouldn't want to hear what I said. So let me go to Sophie. You can take us off on the issue of the diaspora vote.
Thank you so much, Chief, and thank you so much, Dr. Ranga, for that very informative information. Right, let's get straight into it. Diaspora vote, we're going to be talking about the diaspora vote is a right today. And we're also going to be talking about the upcoming very special event, the September 18 demonstration at the UN. So I think let's get straight into it. I'll start with Dr. Gwekwerere. Tell us about the plans so far that you have about the September 18, around the September 18 UN demo.
Very much, Leader Sophie. The plans that we have is to invite every Zimbabwean that is in the US, that is in England, or wherever in this world who can make their way to New York City for this big event that's on the 18th of September 2021. This is not the first time we've done it. We've always gathered there, but this time there are invited guests and a lot of fun events and also serious speakers. And nobody should miss this opportunity to be in New York City. We are going to paint New York City red on that day, and Zimbabweans are going to have good fellowship. It doesn't matter which political party you belong to or your ideas, as long you are Zimbabwean or as long as you want to stand with Zimbabweans. Other nationalities are also welcome on that day. Thank you.
Mr. Bako, going to Mr. Bako. I've heard that the theme for this year's demonstration is the diaspora voter. The diaspora vote is a right. If you can walk us through that. You are in the diaspora, you have never voted, and obviously you are keen to vote. How do you think this is going to help in terms of making the government, allow Zimbabweans in the diaspora to vote? Because, definitely it's a right. It's our right.
Thank you, Chief. First and foremost, I think voting is a right for every citizen of any country. It is a right. And we are in the diaspora, but we still remain citizens of Zimbabwe. I'm going to take you back a little bit, Chief, because I want people to understand what we mean by diaspora vote. Diaspora vote is the people who are living outside of a country, but are still citizens of that country, which is what we are exactly. But our situation as the Zimbabwean diaspora is made even more stronger because we are all very aware that the diaspora is the backbone of the Zimbabwean economy right now. The Zimbabwean economy has survived because of us in the diaspora, because of our remittances back home. And we should demand for this vote. Every single Zimbabwean who's out of Zimbabwe right now deserves better respect from our country. And that respect comes in allowing us to vote. We need that vote. We need to decide the future of that country. And we need that country functioning. That is why we are fighting out here. And that's why we demand a vote. And when we are demanding this vote this time around, We are not demanding the vote along partisan lines. No, let's put our parties aside, but let's demand to the right to set the future of our country. Let's demand the right to be involved in the future of our country, since we are contributing about 80% of that the country's economy. So why can't they give us that right? So we want that right, because you are very much aware that right now the diaspora is the pressure release valve for the Zimbabwean economy right now. Anytime they're in trouble, they always look up to the diaspora vote. So we should fight for this more. And that's why we are saying this time around, let's go to New York City on the 18th and let's make so much noise, and let's come in our big numbers. Let's come from all the different parties that are around, or any other Zimbabwean who is not even political in the diaspora, to come along, and let's make noise. Let's demand for what belongs to us. We are Zimbabweans and we deserve to vote. Thank you, Chief. I yield back.
Absolutely, Mr. Bako, Sekuru Bako. Dr. Ranga, what do you have to add on to that, the diaspora vote, and what are the plans, going forward at the demonstration and, along the diaspora vote? What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you, Sophie. Now I'm speaking as a Zimbabwean. I'm a doctor, but I care about Zimbabwe. And each and every one of us, engineers, lawyers, whatever you do in life, we have to care for our country, Zimbabwe. And we are the people who are going to make a difference. So people in the diaspora, like myself, like Sophie, like so many people there, my brother, Balko, Dr. Gwekwerere, and my young brother there, Chief, everybody. We want to be part of the solution in Zimbabwe. We want to be able to choose our own leaders. And we already participate in how Zimbabwe functions, like my brother has explained, my brother Bako has explained. We pour so much money into Zimbabwe. And we are very tired of having to continuously do this to keep our families alive, to send them to school, to make sure that they have health care. When we have a functional government, then we won't have to worry so much about those basics, even clean water and things like that. So when we talk about freedom, that we are a free country, free Zimbabwe and so forth, we can't be free when our people go to bed hungry. We can't be free when mothers who are pregnant go to the hospital and they lose their babies unnecessarily. That is completely unacceptable. The way for that to change is for every Zimbabwean to participate in how our country is run and managed. And when we have leaders who neglect our country, like ZANU-PF has done for the past 40 years, we need to change leaders. We need a new formula. And we think that the MDCA is the solution to that. President Chamisa has a plan that will work for every Zimbabwean to make our lives better. And we in the diaspora, we are upset that we even have to ask our government to give us the right to vote, because it's already in our constitution. So I think that making a little more noise in New York on September 17, 18 is a good way to keep these people on their toes so that we do the right thing. We shouldn't have to demand that we are given the right to vote. At the same time, they keep collecting more than $1 billion from us in the diaspora. And we in the diaspora keep saying, listen, if you use this money effectively, we would have a better country, better roads, better everything. But they would rather have this money go to the military, go to corruption, all the stuff we have had. And we want to have a voice in who guides and who runs the country. So that is my thought in terms of the diaspora vote. And I think that it is high time that that vote happens yesterday. And as a Zimbabwean, I should demand that that happens. I know I'm singing to the choir here, but that is the truth. How much money have we poured into our country, into investments, into everything to try to get our country better? Unfortunately, when you don't have a functional government, a lot of those investments, individual investments, personal investments, they go to waste because you don't have functional roads, because you don't have running water, because you don't have electricity. So even if you have great ideas, they're not gonna go nowhere. So it is time these people who have been running this country to the ground for 40 years go and just rest, take a break, go and do some farming like they keep talking about, so that the country can move forward. And they should let us in the diaspora bring in new technology, new ideas, new investment methods, and so forth, so that we can move our country forward. Our young people can have jobs, all those college graduates can have jobs, and so forth. I could go on and on. Thank you, Sophie.
Doc, thank you so much for that. There is someone, Love Momlambo, said that they obviously won't allow us to vote from outside Zimbabwe, especially now that they are working day and night with Monzora to actually make sure that the will of the people will not prevail. I'm going home to register to vote, by the way. My vote will make a difference. I'll go there to vote come 2023. Love Momlambo, you are very right, and we continue to encourage people that are here in the diaspora to make a trip to Zimbabwe to go and register to vote. That can be your vacation. Instead of going to the islands, instead of going to some fancy places, just make a trip to Victoria Falls, and on your way there, you also go and register to vote, just in case we don't win this fight. But it's a fight that we intend to win. We want to vote. Diaspora vote is a right. And I think my young brother here, Mr. Mareza, will agree with me. He's representing the youth here. He's a youth, and we saw recently, Mr. Mareza, in Zambia, the youth are making sure that things happen. An opposition party is now in government, and they were driven. The youth were the fuel behind that victory. Now, what are you doing as youth in North America, as youth in the diaspora? Are you communicating with your colleagues in Zimbabwe to ensure that as many people as possible are registered, and even here in the diaspora, in as far as the diaspora vote is concerned? What are you doing about it? Are we going to see many of you in New York?
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, touching on the victory in Zambia, we all celebrated. The whole world, the whole of Africa celebrated. But our worry is that it should not just stop with Zambia. We are next to Zambia, and we have been in the same situation. Actually, for us, we can say we are competing with the masters of dictatorship. It is actually different from Zambia. So we need to put a little bit more effort into our registration to vote, and into actually defending the vote after the voting process, and make sure that every vote counts. So as our responsibility as the diaspora, I wouldn't want to say myself a diaspora, but as a Zimbabwean from outside Zimbabwe currently, because I am speaking, my heart is back in Zimbabwe. I'm still a Zimbabwean. I'll never be something else. I can be an American citizen. I can be a UK citizen, but that is not by birth. So my heart is Zimbabwean. My blood is Zimbabwe. So we continue to urge all our compatriots, all our friends and families back home to go and register to vote. Yeah, we understand that in some other areas, like in the rural areas, I come from Buera West. I mean, it is actually about 30, 40, 50 miles for me for every person to go to Buera central office to get registered to vote. So our core is the diaspora youth is for us to at least put resources together. Tokwanisa kuti vanhu vari kumamisha, if we hire some buses for them to go and register. Our other worry is that upon the realization that people are hitting the call to go and register to vote in numbers, the government is actually orchestrated a strategy to say we can people are no longer able to get ID cards right now. So it is another thing that we should be putting pressure on, to say people need to get their IDs. It is our right to have those IDs. It is our right to vote. So we keep on stressing that people need to go and register to vote, actually go to vote and defend the vote. I think that's the least I can say as of now.
Thank you so much, Leader Mareza, for making sure and having the youth come on board, and they're making sure that they're actively involved and participating in this very important, juncture of our lives. Dr. Gwekwerere, tinogara tichinzwa kuti mushamukadzi. So as the, MDC Alliance's Women's Assembly, what are we doing or what is going on to make sure that the women are on board, in fixing our musha of Zimbabwe, musha wedu, nyika yedu ye Zimbabwe? What are we doing as the Women's Assembly, with this vote, the diaspora vote as well, voter registration, as well as the September 18 demonstration? Sorry, ndakuwanzira my question enyu, but I think you are more than capable.
Thank you, Sophie. That was actually on my mind, that mushamukadzi. It's with us women for any development to happen or to succeed. So as Women Assembly, and personally as a woman, I am encouraging the people who are back home, could be my family, relatives, or those that I sponsor, to register and vote. And I want to thank God that through the province, we have twinning of branches, those in America twinning with those in Zimbabwe. So through that partnership, we are encouraging people, the youth and the old people, the ladies, to go and register to vote. And I want to also say, not specifically through the women's wing, but there are other initiatives that are coming from North America, where they are giving incentives to people in Zimbabwe to register to vote. Let's say for the women's wing, if a woman registers 35 people to vote, they get an incentive of kitchenware. So it's not my idea, but it's one of the ideas that I'm supporting, that was started by the province in North America. So that's what we are doing. And as far as the 18th of September is concerned, we are also encouraging each other as women here in America to go and attend that function. And we are calling our families, those who don't even belong to MDC, we are calling friends and relatives to come and be with us. And we are also having a special speaker, a lady speaker, who is going to speak there in New York, so that will motivate women also to attend and to register. So I can say that's what we are doing, but if there are any other new ideas that will come up, we will embrace them to make sure that we encourage our children, our families, our relatives to go and register. And if it was not cruel, I think I would encourage the Women's Assembly not to sponsor families back home if they don't want to go and register to vote. But it's inhuman, but it's in my mind. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Gwekwerere. From one doctor to another doctor.
Sophie, can I come in? Can I add something to what Dr. Gwekwerere just said?
Yes, please, Sekur.
I think it's all into that the mobilization of people back home to register to vote. It is the young people actually that we should be putting pressure on, because the young people can easily go and convince the older people, and also the women with their power, like you say, mushamukads, can also convince Padare SA to go and register to vote. Like, for example, what I've done in my family back home, I said, all the young people, anyone who goes to register to vote, I'm sending $20 US. And guess what? Within 1 week, I had 6 of them register to vote and show me proof that they've registered to vote and have sent their $20. And now I've come up with another incentive. I've said to them, okay, if you can get me another 5 people, each one of you, I'm sending $100 each. And guess what? 3 of them have already got 5. And now, you need to imagine, Maria, to this. So
Wow.
these young people actually got so much potential. They can do a lot for us. And I'll add on the twinning that we have started in North American province. We have been twinned with some branches back home, like the Toronto branch has been twinned with Lupane East. And I can tell you as of now, I'm getting very, very good news and very good vibe coming from Lupane. There's so much excitement. We have started projects there. We have sent the money already. Very soon we'll be having pictures to show, evidence to show what they are doing. And it's kind of very, 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 very impressive. It's very impressive, and I'm very happy. And let's all support this training program that we are doing, especially in the diaspora. If we can have all the other provinces coming along and doing the same, I think we can do so much. And let's get people to register to vote. And for us, guys, diaspora vote is a no-brainer. We have to get it. But I know there's a lot of reluctance to do it because the diaspora constituency is so big, so much that it can decide the election in Zimbabwe. But let's fight. Let's do it. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. Ndatoda kuti ndipindire panapa bango because unoona makutoita zvechikamalism nemuzukuru wenyu makutoita nepotism.
Aiwa, hatizosvikeni kunana Tagwirei tichiri pari nani.
Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Bago, for that. I know that your district is doing a lot in terms of training in Zimbabwe. Please keep up the good work. Doc, you touched on the remittances by the diasporans, and we are here today, and in Texas, Dallas, here in America, we are having the Zim Expo, and ZANU-PF actually sent a representative all the way from Harare to come and try and entice the diasporans here so that they invest in Zimbabwe. We are already putting in about $1.2 billion in terms of remittances. And ZANU-PF wants more. It's either they want more or they've seen what is going on social media, the campaigns that have been going on that are saying that as diasporans, we are sick and tired, of putting in money, paying taxes, and then there's nothing that comes out of that, So maybe ZANU-PF is seeing that those diaspora remittances are going to die down. Now they are on a campaign to make sure that more money goes into Zimbabwe. As a professional, how do you feel that you continue to pour money into Zimbabwe, help sustain Zimbabwe in terms of economics, but you're not being given your right to vote?
Thank you, Chief. First of all, I'm very happy that ZANU-PF is coming here to interact with us. At least hopefully they are consulting us. They are asking us what we want as people in the diaspora. They are the government of the day. And as the government of the day, they are supposed to deliver on behalf of Zimbabweans, wherever Zimbabweans are. There are Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe, the motherland, who is the main focus. But there's also Zimbabweans like you and me, Chief, out here in the diaspora. I hope that they're not just coming here to say, just give us more money. And once you give us the money, we know what to do with the money. Don't ask us how we use the money, where we invest the money, who gets the money. Our hope is that they hear the same message that you and me are saying right now whenever they interact with Zimbabweans in the diaspora, whether it's in Texas, Charlotte, UK, wherever. We all say the same thing. We want a functional country. We want a country that works for every Zimbabwean. We want a country that works for our kids, for our parents, for our siblings, for everybody. So they are the government of the day. And I hope that that's the message they hear whenever they interact with us in the diaspora. We want them to succeed on behalf of the people of Zimbabwe. They may have gotten there in power by hook and crook, which they have done for the past 40 years. But as long as they are in charge of the government, we are at their mercy. Whatever decisions and policies they make as a government affects each and every one of us. And what we ask as people in the diaspora is that, listen, you can't have taxation without representation. Since we contribute such a huge part to the economy in Zimbabwe, the bare minimum we expect is we should be able to decide who is running that money, who is managing that money. And that's why the diaspora vote is very important. We want to be able to be part of the solution in Zimbabwe. And to be part of the solution, it starts with we get registered to vote, we get to vote wherever we are. And then we have platforms like this one where we talk about solutions openly, and we don't have the government now silencing us and say, you can't talk about these bad things going on in the country and this and that and that and that, but at the same time, they're coming out here and asking for our money. No, you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and they eat it as a government. So my thing is, I think it's a good thing that they're coming out here, and I hope they take away the message that we want a functional country. They have failed to do that for the past 40 years, and we hope that they allow new leaders with fresh ideas who can move the country forward, like our president, Nelson Chamisa, the MDCA, to move the country forward. We can't live in the past. We can't live in the war of liberation, which we all Zimbabweans at that time participated in. We can't keep saying we are entitled to run the country, but we have run out of money, give us more money. It can't work that way. And when I, as a professional, look at how our hospitals are run in Zimbabwe, how our people are so miserable when they go to hospitals to just get basic medication and so forth, even vaccination for COVID, what they have done, the looting in the hospitals, it's sad. And I think the way to change that is to have a government that works for the people. And we are the people, whether we're in the diaspora, whether we're in Zimbabwe, we are people, and we need a government that works for every Zimbabwean. And we need every Zimbabwean to participate. And we in the diaspora, we want to be able to vote. And that should have been happening all these years. And they should do everything possible to make that happen. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Doctor. Mr. Bako, going to you. I understand you are in Canada. So I just want to understand, are you actually going to go to New York for this demo? And if you are there any others also traveling from Canada to New York?
Yes, thank you, Sophie. I think you bring a very important question that I should give this information. Right now, we are all coming to New York, and we are all geared to come to New York. But like Doctor said earlier on, that you have to be vaccinated to go to New York. And here in Canada right now, if you are not vaccinated, you're not going to travel. So we are all vaccinated and we're all coming. The only worry right now, Sophie, is as much as we are coming, but our numbers here, I'm talking about the COVID numbers, they have not been doing so well. And I think you are very much aware that Canada, when things start to go like this, they will just shut everything off. And we are praying that it's not going to go that way, because schools are opening on Tuesday next week, and we are likely going to get a spike. So we're just hoping that they will still let us travel, but we are coming. We're going to New York. We got quite a sizable number. Right now, I think I'm at confirmed. I'm at 6 people have already confirmed that they are ready to go, and they have already 2 have already secured their tickets. So yeah, we are coming. We are going to New York, and we are hoping to get more people to come with us as we get towards the date. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement about it. There's a lot of excitement about the diaspora vote, which is our main message this year. And everybody here needs the diaspora vote. So we are coming, and we could be even more numbers. And we've got our women's assembly at it right now. And Yeah, we're doing good. We're coming. We're coming to New York.
Wow, that's wonderful. Sorry, Chief.
Oh, no, that's fine. I know you to say something to your Sekuru.
That's the paramosha. Chiri Padare.
Right,
Tichatongesa.
our viewers and listeners who are just joining us, that was Miss Tibago. Miss Tibago is in Canada, is the North America District Chairperson for Canada. You can see here the amount of sacrifice that Zimbabweans have to do. You know, to go to a demonstration, someone has to book a ticket and pay $300, $400, $500, and then when they get there, hakuna zvekunyorara kumaraini kwana sekuru kana kwanani, you know, you have to get in a hotel and make sure that you spend another $300, $400. So that's the sacrifice, and those are things that you know, should keep us going as Zimbabweans. You know, all these sacrifices by different people to make sure that we have freedom and democracy in Zimbabwe. As we round up, Doc, maybe you can just say your last words to the women in North America and everywhere in terms of the program that we have on 18 September in New York.
Sorry, Chief, if I can just cut you before Dr. Kwekwere answers your question. I see there's a comment from Isaac Piri, and he brings in a very important note concerning voter registration and checking your names. Isaac Piri says, please, Chief Soshe, every time you speak about voting, can you always provide a website for people to check their names? What I can give you, Isaac, and all our listeners and viewers at the moment is a number that you can phone for free on any network, and you can find out where the nearest voter registration center is, what you can take, and there it is, there's a number being flighted. The number is 08080219. So call that for free, 08080219, and you can get any information about registering to vote. Thank you for that, Isaac Piri. Back to you, Dr. Gwekwerere, on that.
Yeah, that's actually a very good intervention by Mr. Piri there. We need to be flighting that website. The website is there. I used it myself, you know, early days, because I'm a registered vote. You know, I don't tell people to do what I don't do. I'm a registered vote. I've always voted. I've never missed any vote. Even when they were looking for me in 2018, I still got in the country, went to weather, voted, and went out, got out. But that's what I just do. I vote every time, and I'll vote in 2023. So if you voted in 2018, you don't need to register. You're already registered. All you need to do is to go to that link that Mr. Piri is talking about, so that you check your name and your details if you are still there, because ZANU-PF also has that knack of removing people from the voters' roll, you know. And when you go to vote, you find your name is not there. And once you do that, you can't do anything about it. It means you will not vote on that particular day. So that's why it's very important for anyone you know, who registered in 2018 to check your name if your name is still there. So yeah, that's very important. We'll keep when we come, every time we come together with that number, we'll be having that website as well. Dr. Gwegwere, your last words to the women here.
Thank you very much, Mambo. I want to thank Padare for nice contributions, and it's said to note that my son Mareza there has pointed out kuti atonda nekufunga vote. So, our son so traumatized. Let's make sure we go to New York on the 18th. Maybe Mareza angawedzera tumwe tumafuta pichani after we all rally in New York on the 18th. And Madzimai, let's not play with this opportunity. We can make things happen as women. And I also want to encourage the men and the women. Women, don't leave your husbands, don't leave your sons. So everybody is coming. Women are coming because these are our husbands, these are our children. So everybody will be there. Don't leave the daughters also. And thank you, Dr. Ranga. Thank you, Babako. Thank you, Amareza. Thank you, Mambo. Thank you, Sophie, for such a wonderful program. And our wonderful listeners, thank you for your contributions, Mr. Piri and Mr. Mlambo. We appreciate your valuable contributions tonight. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead. So.
Okay, no, thank you. I think at this point, I just want to ask Mr. Mareza, as a youth, what are your parting shots, your parting words that you want to give to the youth in North America, and indeed the youth around the world, the Zimbabwean youth around the world?
Ndichiri pano munogona kupedza program moenda, but I'm still here with the youth. I'm still here with the whole world. Tichiri kuzeya nyaya iyoyi inyaya iri kupisa, inyaya iri kupisa mumageto, inyaya iri kupisa kwese kumarimuka nekwese kwacho kwakanaka nekwakashata ikoko. So nyaya iri pano ndeyekuti ndiri kukurudzira vese mayouth vari muno muAmerica, especially our provincial executive. Everyone is supposed to be there. We have discussed all that, and we have made sure that all of us are going to come to the demonstration. Why is it so important to be at the demonstration? Some people will maybe ask us to say kuti ko zvamuna muchimboita ndezveiko izvozvo muchiswera muchimboita noise isina nebasa rese. Noise isina nebasa rese ndo inoshanda. Noise isina nebasa rese ndo inoshanda, ndo inonzikwa. If you don't speak, no one is going to listen to you. So the more consistently you talk, the more consistently you speak, is the more you get attention. So we have to elevate our voices. Vanozvinzwa vangasauya but vanenge varipo vanenge vachizvinzwa. Right now the government have actually realized the power of social media. If you look at it, like last week, they came back and tried to apologize for that Kenyan lady who was then lowered into try to do some corrupt activities at the Robert Gabriel International Airport. So they know if it wasn't because of the outcry through the social media, they wouldn't have actually apologized. We know that for sure nothing is going to happen to that case. It is just going to end as an investigation. But through that social media, through our communication, our noises that we make everywhere we are, they listen. They know what people are. I can take, for instance, like just yesterday, there's a video that is circulating, still circulating right now. It is because of the failure of the government to provide transportation for its citizens. Those are the manifestations of failure of governance by the ZANU-PF regime. So izvozvo ndizvo zvinofana kutipusha. Those zvinofana kutipusha kuti tizive kuti zvigadzirike. It is not going to be just an event. We need to register. We need to vote so that we get out of that system. So my parting shots are basically that we need every Zimbabwean to be in New York on the 18th of September for the demonstration.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Mareza. I think if there are any youth that are listening or that will listen to this video after they've heard your words, we want all the youth to be in New York.
Hi, Chief. Chief, kana muri kutinzwa hatisi kukunzwai. But I think he was just commenting there on Mr. Mareza's comment that, what they are doing to get the youth involved in the voter registration. Okay, maybe let's go ahead. No, it's not working. I understand on September 18 there are going to be a couple of activities going on. September 17, 18, and 19. Can you just maybe give us what's going to go on, Dr. Ranga? I come to you about that. September 17, I understand the activities on 17, 18, and 19 September.
Hi, Sophie. I will. I just have a general idea. Of course, the doctor is never in the details on these things. I know that we are going to have our provincial meeting, the national, annual provincial meeting for our leadership in North America province. I think that's on the 17th. The big demonstration where we make the most noise about why we should have the diaspora vote and why it has taken so long. It's going to be on the 18th. I'm not very sure about the 19th, but if we all come to New York, at least on the 17th, we have a consultative process where people can weigh in terms of what they think should be better before the next election, what we can do better as a province, as a party. And then on the 18th, we all descend to the UN General Assembly and we make the most noise so that everybody understands that our diaspora vote is long overdue. That's what I can say in a nutshell. Sophie, obviously, Chief, and maybe my leader, Bako, Dr. Gwekwere, and my leader, Mareza, might have more details than I do. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to ask one between Mr. Bako, Dr. Gwekere, Mr. Mareza. Anything you want to add on to what Dr. Ranga has said, or maybe he has managed to get everything done or in from what I had asked?
Sorry, I think Dr. Ranga managed to say everything. So I'll just add on maybe one or two, because we have our provincial consultative meeting on the 17th in the evening. That's most people are arriving on the 17th. So that evening, we're going to have the provincial consultative meeting. This is a constitutional meeting where all leadership meet and we can come up with resolutions on that meeting. Then the next day, which is the Saturday morning, we're having that demonstration at the UN Center from 10 o'clock to 3 p.m. That's when we are having the demonstration. And whilst on that, I think I will just let you all know that it's not only us who are organizing the demo. You are very much aware that from the previous experiences, ZANU-PF comes with its December 12th movement, guys. So they will be making a lot of noise, and their noise is actually different from ours because they come with a different message every year. So they will be actually trying to counter what we will be doing. So come prepared for the D12 movement. I think you know it very well. They can be very, very aggressive, these people. So we are ready. We have experienced them before. So don't be intimidated. Feel free. Come in. Come over there. We'll be there. We'll protect you. And the more we are, the less they're going to have a voice. So let's all come and do it. Then in the evening, we have got a couple of functions lined up. So I think we have a dinner meeting where we have a meal, and also we just have a meet and mingle, meeting our visitors, because we're having guests from around the world. So we'll have a social time with them where we can interact with them after the dinner. So we'll have like a dance after. So this is actually the program as of now. I don't know if there's anyone with more details, but this is what we are planning to do in a nutshell. But guys, come in, we have fun, we're made to send a message, and we celebrate after. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I think, you know what, you've managed to energize everyone to get involved and want to know what's going on with this September 18 and the diaspora and vote. Never mind the D12, but we are doing this for the love of our country. And I do agree with you, you know, hatishi, ndochitaura nechimanyika hatishishidzirwi. Saka I just want to tell everyone, Musasha, you know, hatishishidzirwi. But yeah, let's get this going. And isusu tisingakwanisi kuuya will be with you. We are also going to our local UN offices and we'll be on the same day demonstrating with everyone as well in New York. So, you know, let's do this, Zimbabweans. Let's do this for our country. Let's do this for our future. Let's do this for the dignity of the Zimbabwean people. Thank you so much, our viewers and listeners. We were with Chief Svosve in Padare, Dr. Ranga, Dr. Gwekwerere, Mr. Mareza, and my very own Seguru Mr. Bako. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your viewership and your listenership. Stay tuned on Change Radio and ZimI. We've got a lot more informative and interesting programs coming up. And Chief Svosve will see you next week. So we sign out. Have a good night and see you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.